All right, very good evening to you folks here on Speed Gaming 4. Welcome back to another edition of the Metroid Prime Randomizer 2021 tournament. We got a good one for you tonight. It's Interslice and Tubamann showing their skills for you. I'm Captain MD, and on tracking tonight we have Young Death. Should be a good one, folks. We have given the runners the green light in the race time room, and they will be joining us. Joining us for the show and beginning their show in just a second here. Looking to be a good one. Personally, I wouldn't mind this being a little bit on the faster side because this is not the only Metroid Prime Randomizer match we have down the pipe for you tonight, folks. We have two matches coming within the hour. We've got Lokir versus Koshi on SG3 and Reed Whaley versus Elias Thompson on SG2. You are not going to want to miss those, folks, so hopefully we can have a nice, quick, fast seed. Now, Interslice, the previous champion of the 2020 tournament, is currently... Where's my bracket page? Interslice, however, is 1-0. Or, excuse me. Is 0-1, if I'm reading my notes correctly. But we'll catch up on bracket standings in just a minute as we are off. Standard start today, no special runners agreements today. Interslice immediately nailing SJF. Tubamann not far behind, though. Well done. Both runners getting missiles in alcove. Missile launcher, no less. Excellent, so they can logically now fire missiles. And under the ship, we've got bombs. Pretty common start as of late, bombs under the ship. So yes, seating-wise, Tubamann is seated 33rd, if I've got my bracket correctly. Yeah, Tubamann is seeded 33rd. Interslice is seeded number 1. Tubamann is 1-0. Oops. It is supposed to be, to answer question chat, there is a singular missile expansion that is the missile launcher, so it is logical first missiles. Because we have now integrated with Randomizer, we now have a proper standard missile launcher. We get a free energy tank in the impact crater. Good spot for it. To answer question chat, Randomizer is the randomizer program we are now using for Prime 1 and Prime 2. We typically have only used it from Prime 2, but recently it has been integrated in... Prime 1 has been integrated into Randomizer, so now all three Prime games, although Prime 3 still in the works, are now compatible with Randomizer. We are getting our artifacts right away. Overgrown Cavern, Great Tree Chamber, Transport Tunnel B, Training Chamber Access, Vendrana Shorelines, and Sun Chamber. Flogger is required. Wow, Interslice read those fast. Now, the good news is, because Sun Chamber is required for an artifact and not progression, hopefully it won't stack a lot of stuff in Chozo. I think I remember seeing some discussion recently in the Discord about Flogra being the cause of the stacked Chozo problem lately. Because we had a match recently where we were pretty much in go mode at the 40-minute mark. But Interslice electing to go directly to Root K, or Transport Tunnel B, rather, to get this artifact now, while Tubamann will be following suit here. Now, no Morph Ball means our next stop is to... gonna be Chozo Ruins. To answer question, chat, FCS is Frigate Crash Site. And also to answer a question, chat, they do both start with Charge Beam. But yes, it looks like both runners entering Chozo at about the same time, so looks like both these runners are going to put on quite a show when it comes to execution here, and that is something we all love to see at home. We got a missile in the grapple ledge, and Interslice not even bothering to check vault ledge or half pipe right away because there's really no point. You can't get them yet, and you're probably going to come back through this area anyway. And was that more missiles in Ruin Nursery? I'll have to take another double check on Tubamann's screen. Courtesy of missiles, we can check the first item in Ruined Gallery, and it is missiles. Oh, but Tubamann checking Ruined Shrine first, and I believe that was a suit located in Ruined Shrine. And I think I could see half pipe as missiles, and vault ledge, was that a beam? That may have very well have been a beam. And supers and morph ball in the opposite order in the hive mecha. Excellent early combo to have. Super missiles lets us check the last item in main plaza, and morph ball in general is just awesome. We can now access the bombs under the ship, except Interslice is getting bullied by bugs. Those plasmites not usually a common hazard, but nevertheless, there is a lot in Chozo Ruins that is very dangerous, notably scarabs and bees! And that looks like missiles in the Ruin Nursery. And Interslice electing to warp to start immediately out of Ruin Nursery to pick up those bombs. And is also electing to go immediately to Frigate Crash Site. Under the current logic, we only need missiles and bombs, if I'm reading chat correctly, to check this item. But it only contains missiles. Tubamann, on the other hand, is elected to continue to vault. So nice, interesting early game divergence here with Interslice deciding to go back for morph ball bombs and check Frigate Crash Site, because Frigate Crash Site has been known to be quite a choke point for some runners in this tournament. And it looks like there's nothing in vault. At least I'm pretty sure that's a nothing and not an actual suit. And what is on Vault Ledge? It is Space Jump. I was mistaken. Yeah, Interslice didn't, I don't think, see that yet. Because he elected to just go straight into Hive Mecha without looking at Half Pipe or Vault Ledge. Although Space Jump on Vault Ledge is pretty rude because you have to go all the way around to get that. Because normally Space Jump is enough to put Vault Ledge in logic. Unfortunately, Space Jump is on Vault Ledge. Interslice, interestingly, choosing not to use those super missiles to go check the tree yet. Might check it on the way out. But yeah, the warp to start a new feature added in Randomania, and it is in fact very astute in the Ruined Shrine. Along with another energy tank, which they will not say no to. Interslice going right past the trigger for the beetle fight. Tubamann seeing the frigate crash side missiles and electing to pass up on them, and I assume is on the way back to go retrieve the Varia suit. Interslice will now scan dash to the tree here in order to retrieve the item located inside, courtesy of super missiles, and it contains more missiles. So we currently have pretty much the standard Chozo care package at the moment. Morph Ball Bomb, Space Jump, Charge Beam, all good items to have for the early parts of Chozo. We do have Flogger required, as there is an artifact somewhere in Sun Chamber. Could be Ghosts, in which case we would need Spider Ball and Supers by logic. Given that we've got Supers already, you know, it's probably not too long before Spider Ball shows up. Tubamann is returning, however, to the Root Cave in order to check the items up top here. While this is currently out of logic without Grapple Beam and X-Ray Visor, and Plasma Beam for Arbor Chamber, you can, however... Ooh, nice Boost Ball in Watery Hall access. You can, however, ascend the cave, climb the platforms, and pick up the item, and through some fancy out-of-bounds shenanigans, grab the item in Arbor Chamber. Thankfully, bombs make this out-of-bounds a little bit safer. Looks like missiles in Watery Hall. But yeah, bombs are sort of a backup in case Tubamann got stuck there, which it looks like was the case. So a simple bomb jump here, and problem solved. Arbor Chamber containing a missile expansion, and Lower Dynamo containing a missile expansion, so still no other unique items since Super Missiles and Space Jump. Well, so much for Chozo being stacked. It appears to be the Chozo Missile Bomb Shop. Not Bomb Shop, sorry, that's Zelda. Welcome to the Chozo Ruins Ammunition Emporium. It did have boost, to be fair. But yeah, since Boost Ball, actually, Boost does do us a couple of things. It lets us go fast above all else. Up top here in Gathering Hall, we've got more missiles. Interslice electing to not pick those up. Meanwhile, Interslice is electing to go ahead and fight Zoid. And Tubamann has found Grapple Beam in the upper section of Ruined Shrine, put into logic with Boost Balls. So, that is another one of the Root Cave keys, although we do know that nothing is back there. Grapple Beam, pretty nice. Not the most essential item in Prime 1. Interestingly, Interslice has not gone for Space Jump yet. You can see Interslice just not bothered at all by these War Wasps. With this current equipment, we are just a Power Bomb away from being able to access Magma Pool and Wave Beam from Training Chamber access, which we do know has an artifact. And Zoid having even more missiles. I'm pretty sure we've now countered... I'm pretty sure, like, 9 of the last 10 pickups have been missile expansions. It certainly feels that way. Alright, Tubamann on course for Zoid, while Interslice is on the way out. We do have Magmor access, courtesy of this current equipment, thanks to Various Suit. So I'd wager there's probably something important in there, if not Fendrana. Alright, Tubamann acquiring Boost Ball, while Interslice is checking Lower Furnace. Finds a very interesting X-ray visor. That is actually all the keys for Root Cave to be in Logic. Keys if we're talking about Logic, yes. For excessive key sanity, consider playing an Echo's Randomizer seed. Alright, Interslice is taking a safety save here. This may be a trip to plant followed by an attempt at early wild. This is doable without Spider Ball, but does require some excessively damaging bomb jumps if you are not careful. And it looks like that's exactly where Interslice is going. Nice scan dash. But yeah, both runners really not having any trouble navigating Chozo here, and I think Tubamann's probably going to be following suit here soon, to at least Zoid. We'll see if he chooses to go to Flogger later. Alright, Flogger fight. This will be pretty much smooth sailing with Space Jump, because as it turns out, after that first bomb slot, all of the remaining bomb slots are just damage triggers weak to bomb damage. So you can just scan dash your way over to them and lay a bomb, and that'll count from outside the corridors. Ooh, Interslice getting a little slapped there. You really do want to be careful. You really do want to be careful about getting slammed by those tentacles, because those do almost 20 damage, especially with no suits. But you do have one, so at least it's 10% resistance at the moment. Looks like Interslice is taking advantage of Prime's lack of a sideways speed cap to continue scan dashing to Flogger's bomb slots, even without Space Jump. Quite an impressive feat of movement. Not to mention precise. So with this, Interslice is probably going to route into Space Jump from Vault, because it does put him right in front of the Vault elevator. Very convenient, actually. And it looks like the artifact was directly on Flagra. Very, very clean fight. And through the power of basically Lion King Syndrome, the water in Chozo Ruins is clean, and Interslice has gotten his second artifact. Luckily, there is not a scan visor chilling in that box of items like there was on the weekly on Saturday, where we got to see our runners go through the Trial of the Warrior Plando. So what you're seeing Interslice do here is bomb jump up some terrain on this wall, using the fact that for some reason collision in Prime is not exactly brilliant, and through sliding up with excessive bomb jumping, you can return to Sun Chamber and fight the ghosts. Meanwhile, on Tubamann's side, looks like he was thinking about doing Upper Furnace, but has elected against it. And now with X-Ray Visor and Super Missiles, thankfully this ghost fight isn't too much trouble. Ghosts have 200 HP, Super Missiles do 180, and a full charge does 50, so 200 HP Ghosts, not too much trouble. Very nice snipe on Interslice's part. And Ghosts contains more missiles. Alright, so Early Wild, not the way forward today, but it sounds like Magmore's our next trip. All this way in, and we still have not found another beam weapon, interestingly. Alright, Tubamann has returned to Talon, and might be electing to go to Magmore from Transport Tunnel B here. So we're going to see an almost simultaneous Magmore entry by the looks of it. And that definitely looks like a nothing in there. That is not Phazon suit. And that's Interslice's space jump. Chooses to not turn around and go for Magmore. Oh, elects to turn back. Alright, Tubamann, meanwhile, cruising through Lava Lake. Or not Lava Lake, excuse me, Twin Fires. Doesn't look like there is anything in Shore Tunnel. Alright, looks like Tubamann's gonna head towards Lava Lake and pick up this energy tank in Triclops Pit. Right now, energy tank's still somewhat of an issue. Not a tremendous one, but still, you don't want to end up dying in a Metroid game, because dying in a Metroid game that is not Prime 3 or Samus Returns in generally pretty much sucks. And it looks like that was another energy tank in storage cavern. Tubamann, interestingly, electing to skip it. Although I imagine, given the caliber of both runners' movement, they're probably pretty cozy with 3 or 4 energy tanks. But yeah, Grapplebee making short work of this early Magmor as Tubamann will now check Lava Lake. And there's the main power bomb. We can now logically fire off power bombs, which gives us almost all ball upgrades. We're just looking for Spider Ball, but interestingly, still only Various Suit and still no beams. Well, besides Grapple Beam, to be fair. But this does put Magma Pool in logic. So I'm not sure how interested our runners would be in backtracking. Interslice, meanwhile, getting brutally grabbed by a pair of Triclops. Alright, Tubamann, the first to check Warrior Shrine, contains only missiles, and there is nothing in Upper Fiery Shores. Not sure what was in Lower Fiery Shores, but I don't think Tubamann picked it up. Interslice, meanwhile, is electing to go pick the energy tank up in Storage Cavern. And I believe Tubamann is making a play to transport Tunnel A for Phendrana. Not really much else we can do at this point. We would need Spider Ball or... yeah, we would need Spider Ball to get to Workstation from here. Ooh, but there's a nice beam in Transport Tunnel A, finally. Now, Ice Beam... brings Farchozo into question here. Now, I don't think we can get over there just yet. I think we need either Spider Ball or basically some way around the other side of Frigate. Oh, and I'm being told skipping Spider and Furnace might actually be in logic anyway, so... That does make Farchozo sound very interesting. Looks like the artifact for Phendrana Shorelines is not in the lighthouse today, but it is plasma locked. It's an energy tank in Lower Fiery Shores. And again, both runners electing to pass up that energy tank. Getting an Ice Ruins East check here. The lower ice check is Wave Beam, so Wave is plasma locked. Ooh, that's a pretty big deal, actually, as Wave Beam locks out a pretty significant chunk of the game, especially mines. Nothing in the top, though. If this is the case, then Plasma can't be too far in theory. Can't see what that is up there in the lighthouse from here on Tubamann's side. Tubamann going straight for Phendrana Canyon here. Often a very big hotspot for progression as of late. And looks like today is an exception. So yeah, right now, Interslice kind of just backpedaling through Tubamann's checks here. No, chat. There's no runner's agreements for IS in this seed. What is that down there? Oh, was that Spider Ball? I think that was Spider Ball in Ice Ruins West. So, Spider Ball and Wave both plasma locked. And it looks like Tubamann is going to... this could be a save warp here. Electing to warp first before saving. As I understand it, this can be quite dangerous due to the potential of the game crashing before the warp is complete. Doesn't look like it's a big Tubamann had any trouble, rather. I do believe we can climb, or Tubamann looks to be thinking about climbing Frigate Crash Site here. Alright, Interslice finding his nice beam. And Tubamann with a interesting choice of using the scan dash method to climb up Frigate Crash Site. I say the scan dash method, but whenever a method is discovered, another one is soon to follow, pretty much. And that's right, this is the artifact that is not on my list. So yeah, the remaining artifacts that we have not seen yet are Great Tree Chamber and Training Chamber Access. We have Tubamann has not gotten the Sun Chamber artifact and has also seen the Lighthouse artifact. Not Lighthouse, excuse me, Shoreline's Ice artifact. Tubamann electing to go from Farchozo directly to Great Tree. Interslice sees that Spider Ball down there as well, so yeah, pretty much as soon as the runners find Spider Ball, it's effectively a Phazon suit hunt. Not Spider Ball, excuse me, Plasma Beam. Once they find Plasma Beam, it's effectively a Phazon suit hunt. So, looks like Tuba is going to check Great Tree, or get the artifact in Great Tree Chamber, because we know this is an artifact. Life Grove is still currently, it's doable without Spider Ball right now, but requires a little bit of standable terrain shenanigans with that spider track. Right now, I think Tubamann is doing this strictly for a suit or a maybe a visor, but definitely looking for a suit here, because we know that Spider is plasma locked, and we know Wave is plasma locked, so we know that Plasma Beam cannot be back here. Alright, Interslice electing to save here before taking the warp. And And Life Grove Tunnel had nothing. Wave can't be back here either. We already know it's in Ice Ruins East in the plasma thing, in the ice. So yeah, this is strictly for a suit. Or maybe Thermal Visor, or Ice Spreader. All which would be nice, but it looks like it's just missiles in the Life Grove today. I must apologize that I'm not familiar about the logic for Gravityless Frigate, although we can't really do much in Frigate anyway without Wave Beam, so... Alright, well that's 3 artifacts for both runners, and Interslice is on track to get number 4 out of Great Tree Chamber. We'll see if he chooses to go left or right, though, out of the elevated pathway, because Interslice might be thinking Farchozo. Because Hall of the Elders and Crossway doesn't sound like a bad idea right now. Although I don't remember if Crossway needs Spider Ball. I want to say it does, by logic, of course. It does by logic, okay. Thank you, chat. Helping keep me honest. So yeah, the million-dollar question, where is Plasma Beam? Because that is basically the explosive object that'll burst this seed open. As it currently gates Wave Beam and Spider Ball. Phazon Suit can still be vanilla or in Processing Center access. It'd be one giant stretch if that is the case, but it could be. The only room Phazon Suit cannot be in is Phazon Mining Tunnel. Which is where Artifact of Newborn would normally be. But yeah, that's the only place where Phazon Suit can't be. But Interslice is going to be the first into Hall of the Elders. We got a nice sort of hand-holding here, and Hall of the Elders with Plasma Beam. Folks, at 36.5 minutes, we are on a Phazon Suit hunt. And it can be pretty much anywhere right now. At this point, it all comes down to routing. Who is going to make the route change? Who is going to find the... who is going to get the gold? I mean, Phazon Suit's not gold, but you get the idea. Although it would be hilarious if Phazon Suit's just chilling in here in Elder Chamber. Aww. Alright, Interslice checking Crossway. We now know this is in logic courtesy of Spider Ball, although, again, pretty much the whole game is wide open save for a few Gravity Suit checks. Thermal also logically locks a few things, but realistically our runners don't need it. I'm not sure if Interslice checked Ice Ruins East, though, to see Wave Beam there. Looks like chat's saying he did. Oh wait, no, that was Interslice taking on Flagra. Never mind. But yeah, if Interslice did not check Ice Ruins East, that could be a problem. But now chat is confirming that Interslice did see Wave Beam, so we are all good on that front. We didn't see anything in Upper Furnace either, but it sounds like it's back to Phendrana to pick up Wave Beam and Spider Ball. And the Shorelines artifact. Looks like both runners taking the, Actually, I don't think Tubamann... Yeah, Tubamann is electing to take a different path here. Alright, Interslice picking up the Great Tree Chamber artifact. And we'll be taking a warp to start here by the looks of it. Interslice, meanwhile, is going to take a couple of minutes to check the nothing and missile tanks in Life Grove. And yeah, it looks like Tuba is going back to... Yep, Tuba's going to go back to Magmore through Transport Tunnel B once again. Not sure if it's faster to get to Phendrana through here or not. But yeah, at this point, again, it all just comes down to who makes the right check here. Because, again, we are now looking for, just to reiterate for those who may just be coming in, we know that Wave Beam is, both runners know that Wave Beam is in Ice Ruins East and that Spider Ball is in Ice Ruins West. All encased in ice, requiring plasma, which we found in Hall of the Elders. Which does mean Spiderless Furnace was probably the logical expectation here. Although that definitely doesn't appear to be bothering our runners, although Tubamann electing to go pick up that Fiery Shores energy tank now. Both runners sitting pretty cozy at 4 energy tanks for now. By their definition, I would imagine pretty cozy. What else is in logic with this equipment? Plasma processing is in play. Pretty much all of Magmore is in play, actually. Except Workstation. It logically expects you to have thermal, I think. And yep, looks like Tubamann's going to be the first one back to Phendrana. We got almost simultaneous elevators here. Plasma had to be in logic without Spider because Plasma is literally needed for Spider. Since Spider's in Ice Ruins West. But it looks like Tubamann is first going to pick up Wave Beam. Oh, Plasma Processing. Climbing Plasma Processing in logic? I don't think so. I think you need Spider by logic for that. There are plenty of ways to get up without it, using slope jumps, various angled R jumps, or... There's basically a lot of ways to get up that don't involve Spider Ball. Looks like Tubamann's next stop is going to be Chapel of the Elders. With a quick pit stop in Chozo Ice Temple. Interestingly, Tubamann not immediately, although you really don't need Spider Ball at this very moment, so Tubamann electing to go pick it up later, I would imagine, on the way over to Labs or something. But Interslice now packing 5 artifacts. Tubamann only has 3 at the moment. That is because he has not chosen to get the artifact in the shoreline. and has not fought Flagra, so those are the two artifacts that Interslice has on Tubamann at the moment. The last artifact is in Training Chamber Access, which is currently unavailable to our runners, just became available to our runners courtesy of Wave Beam. Now the new $1 million question, where is that Phazon suit? Oops, looks like Tubamann's second bomb didn't quite hit the column. And what is that in there in Ice Ruins in the chapel? Didn't look like anything important. Probably an energy tank. It wasn't a missile. I would assume Tubamann's next stop is probably Spider Ball, then Labs. Really not much else you can do in Phendrana specifically, unless you want to just go all the way through and go to Far Phendrana, or take the ultimate gamble and check Thardus, which I don't foresee happening right at this moment. Just giving the sheer volume of checks everywhere else in the world. Interslice has taken interest in whatever is here in Chapel of the Elders. Apparently it was Thermal Visor. Fascinating. I thought it was an energy tank. Thermal not strictly hard required, but it does make Essence a little more comfortable. Very interesting that Tubamann chose to not get that, although, to be fair, it is gated behind a mini-boss. And I do believe now both runners are packing... I know Tubamann is at least definitely packing Spider Ball. Yeah, Tuba's packing Spider Ball now. Interslice will probably be getting that in a second. It's not a boss, it's a power bomb check. That's fair. Or a plasma beam check, take your pick, really. Alright, Interslice now picking up Spider Ball out of Ice Ruins West. And yeah, folks, welcome to what I suspect at this point is going to be a probably 20-minute or so hunt for Phazon suit. The good news is, with their current equipment, they can pretty much check any non-gravity suit related checks with virtually no difficulty. Gonna get a Research Lab Hydra check here. And it contains missiles. We're going to see Tubamann perform the Observatory Dash here, allowing them to climb up Observatory with virtually... oops, Scan Dash lost a little bit of horizontal momentum there. And on top of that, there's a pirate bullying. Up top in the Observatory, we have another energy tank. Now what we're going to see here is Tubamann attempt control tower fight skip here. Now what this is there's a tiny trigger, there's a tiny sliver in between this next door and a fight trigger that Tubamann's just going to try and edge out past and jump over. In doing so, he will not have to fight the pirates here. By extension, you can also get this check without plasma beam with some well-timed jump and missile aiming. But it's perfectly in logic with plasma beam anyway. Timber! Alright, another energy tank in the control tower, so looking like we're suddenly in a pretty healthy state with, camera issues on Tubamann's side. The second worst enemy in Metroid Prime, the camera, although much more prevalent in areas other than Chozo Ruins. And as chat points out, this fight, that fight skip maneuver does in fact work in Trilogy, one of the few tricks that still do. The same applies for skipping Plasma Beam for the control tower. I don't know when the skip was discovered. Oh, is that Phazon's suit? Yeah, that's Phazon's suit in Research Lab Aether. Folks, I'd like to call this Cetus. Oh, wait, no, that's not. It's gravity. Never mind. Okay, whole world's open. Well, folks, welcome to the check everything else looking for Phazon's suit hunt. I honestly thought that was dark enough to be Phazon's suit. An update that Randomania provides is that by scanning the first shield, you can see what's down there in Research Core without the cutscene, if you have cutscenes turned off especially. Yeah, chat got me there. I got you baited pretty hard. I thought for sure this was going to be another Cetus Frius. That's my definition for a short seed. But yeah, now Phazon's suit can literally be anywhere except Phazon Mining Tunnel. We've seen thermal visors, so we do know that the entirety of the world is in play. So now the question becomes, where's Phazon's suit? Upper gravity chamber does not have a Phazon suit, just a missile expansion, and lower gravity chamber is also not relevant tonight. Yeah, with the amount of essentially holding hands these two have been doing, it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out towards the endgame. Now, granted, Tubamann still has to go back for the shorelines and training chamber artifacts, as well as Flagra. Interslice just has to go back for training chamber. Training chamber access, specifically. Training chamber itself has not often been required. It's actually very infrequently. No sign of Phazon suit and storage cave. Still finding a very nice amount of energy tanks here in Phendrana. These energy tanks really do allow our runners to chill as they deal with the final bosses. But yeah, Tubamann's next stop is going to be, I believe this is Security Cave. Although, Interslice just got the energy tank out of this, so... It looks like Tubaman's so far a little bit ahead of the game here on the Phendrana checks. As he's now bailing out of, or just checking Frost Cave, and then I believe that's just about everything in Farchozo. Outside of Thardis, of course. And transport access north. I imagine they'll check transport access north and quarantine monitor first. They pretty much have all the tools for it. Tubamann electing to take a save. And there's another nothing in transport access north. Ooh, we're going to get a warp to start from Tubamann. This may be a frigate play here. Certainly puts him right next to it. We're going to get some divergence here. Meanwhile, Interslice checking quarantine monitor. Is this the play? No, it is not. At least not yet. But Interslice electing to go straight for Thardis? Yeah, going straight for Thardis. And as all my friends in the Galaxy Quest community will agree with me when I say, Garignac, Garignac, Garignac. If you have not, I do recommend seeing that scene from Galaxy Quest. Don't worry, I'll wait. Although I'm under the impression that that was definitely an intended, that was definitely intentional in development, because this came out, like, what was it, 2 or 3 years after Galaxy Quest release? They knew what they were doing. Yeah, alternatively, as Chad points out, watch Galaxy Quest itself. Still a good, also a good movie. Tubamann, however, is going to go ahead and clear out Frigate. Now, while Tubamann does not have Thermal Visor, the conduits are still triggered without it. So, turns out you only need Wave Beam. Interslice, meanwhile, is using Morph Ball bombs in order to fight Thardis, because it turns out it instantly skips the thermal observation phase of exposing the vulnerable rock. Furthermore, Thardis is actually weak to Plasma Beam, takes more damage from it. Case in point. A couple of well-placed plasma shots and already the head is exposed. And Interslice getting a lovely snipe there. I didn't realize Thardis was visible in X-ray. You learn something new every day. But yeah, Interslice having no trouble with this Thardis fight at the moment. And with one power bomb in tow, I hope, Interslice is just going to be able to lay that last bomb and quickly defeat Thardis. Oh, Interslice might not have that last power bomb in tow. Oh, does have that last power bomb. But laid it too late. Thardis went rolling again. And it looks like Biohazard Containment did not have Phazon Suit. Bummer. A lot of folks like a lot of folks in the audience at home like Biohazard Containment because it needs a lot of stuff. Gravity Suit, Thermal Visor, Ice Beam, Wave Beam. Did I say Super Missiles already? Probably. But yeah, it needs a lot. But that is it for Thardis, and as a reward, Interslice gets an energy tank, which probably not too happy to see at this point. Unfortunately, Tubamann getting a little bit bullied by water pirates here, but does manage to get out and will now check the hydro access tunnel. After which, we will see if he elects to go straight to mines. Does sound like a really good idea given the circumstances. Interslice, meanwhile, has returned to Magmore. And is checking out that workstation has missiles, which we already knew. And Hydro Access Tunnel had Flamethrower. Alright, Tubamann's next stop is indeed going to be mines. Interslice, meanwhile, has returned to Phendrana. Although, heading back down, think that might have been a mistake. You might be thinking about save warping or going to PPC. Either is an option. Interslice taking advantage of the fact that you are pointed correctly in the direction of the opposite of the save station, and you can just do a couple of fancy moves with missiles and weapons to get access to it without even looking around. And Interslice is taking a warp to start here. Looks like Tubamann's going to hold out on checking main quarry immediately. He's electing to get the turrets out of the way first. Not a bad idea. Alright, Interslice is taking another elevator here, and going to Chozo. And feels like it's been forever since we've seen one of these. There is a power bomb expansion in main quarry, but it looks like Tubamann's not interested and gets knocked off the ledge before the scan dash could take place. Oh, Interslice is going for Magma Pool. We have not seen this yet. We do know that pretty much everything in this region is in logic, but Training Chamber access is an artifact. Magma Pool itself is a missile expansion, and Tubamann is going to successfully reach past the area and get through main quarry. And Training Chamber did not have Phazon suit either. Certainly that would have been a great spot for it, considering that Interslice now has all 6 artifacts. Nope, Pirate being rude. Tubamann's next stop, Storage Depot B. Vanilla Grapple originally, and it has more missiles. Tuba likes to grab them. Grabbing missiles in that are pretty much right in front of you like that are not a bad idea, especially with super missiles in tow. They will make Prime Exo a lot easier. No sign of any of the, we've seen Flamethrower, but no sign of Ice Spreader, which definitely would have made life a lot easier. Interslice is going to Tower of Light. Now, Tower of Light itself cannot currently have progression in this version of the randomizer due to the fact that there is not currently logic in place for number of missiles, which would normally be a larger number than the 5 given to you by the launcher. So, French Vanilla Weight Buster instead. Tower Chamber is a different story, though. Tubamann electing to now fight the Phazon Elite. So, on the subject of beam combos, the only one missing Ice Spreader, probably the most useful of the non-Supers 3. And another nothing in front of Elite, Phazon Elite. The game's just trolling our runners now. We've now seen like 3 or 4 nothings after we've entered Phazon Suit Hunt. I don't know if Tubamann saw anything interesting in the rocks, which it looks like he's checking. Maybe this was Ice Spreader? I don't know. This might be Phazon Suit, I'm not sure. Tubamann might not have gotten the chance to check it beforehand. And it is an energy tank. So I think that's it for this section of mine, so Tubamann's now going to head through Security Access A in order to get out through the front door. Going to make a quick pit stop at Storage Depot A. Oh wow, Interslice is getting bullied by this door. Open sesame. Rudest door ever. But yeah, it looks like Interslice is also going to dive frigate through the front, just like Tubamann did. Admittedly, this area of the game is pretty relaxing. Gives you a chance to, if you're playing vanilla, to calmly examine all the stuff you destroyed in the first 10 minutes of the game. Storage Depot A contains yet another energy tank. Alright, so Tubamann is now going to go back up through the waste disposal tunnel. I almost forgot what the room name was called, not gonna lie. Pretty easy to do in Prime, to be fair. But yeah, we are starting to run out of decent checks for where things could be. It's looking like deep mines may end up being the call. But it looks like Tubamann is electing to stay in. Actually, I'm pretty sure all that's left is mines. I'm not thinking about too many checks in Magmore that stick out at the moment. Pretty sure Talon's all cleared out. Yeah, I'm actually thinking we're just about down to mines. There is vanilla plasma. We did not check plasma processing. Very true. Trying to think of any other Phendrana checks that might have been missed. Now that we've seen Thardus, I don't think so. Oh, never mind. Here it is. Elite Control Access. And that will put Tubamann in go mode at 108.45. Now, for Tubamann, it is a rush back to Chozo and Phendrana to pick up those last 3 artifacts. And Interslice heading in the right direction as well. Now, Interslice's direction of choice here will dictate how this plays out. If Interslice chooses to go to Elite Control Access towards mid-mines first, he will acquire Phazon Suit and be in a much better position to take this race. But in the meantime, though, it is a race against time for Tubamann to collect the remaining 3 artifacts. Yeah, as chat points out, the Shorelines artifact in particular, quite out of the way for Tubamann at this point. Not really an easy way from Phendrana to Chozo. In fact, there's no way directly to Phendrana through Chozo, not unless you got random elevators turned on and the seed is lucky. But it looks like Tubamann is going to take a warp to start here in order to get back to Chozo a little bit faster. Oh, Interslice getting bullied by more turrets. Alright. Checks Elite Security Access safe first to just get that out of the way since it's right there. And it looks like he's on his way back to Waste Disposal Tunnel. Chat brings up a good point. The Shorelines artifact is right next to a save station, so it would be very convenient to warp to start immediately out afterwards. Interslice, meanwhile, isn't immediately near any save stations, but at the same time isn't too far away from one either, sort of middle of the road. Oh, Interslice is electing to go down first. This might seal his fate here. And indeed it will. Interslice will pick up Phazon Suit, being go mode at 1:11:52. Ooh, so Interslice making the right move to go into mid-mines at the last instead of clear upper mines, and that is probably going to give him this race. After which, yeah, all things considering, a bit of a dive into mines for Phazon Suit, but otherwise not a particularly crazy seed. But yeah, Tubamann's now going to go ahead and fight Flogra for artifact number 5. Unfortunately, on this layer, ghosts are involved, and it's a pain in the backside. Luckily, it appears the ghosts have really lousy aim at the moment. But yep, Interslice on his way to final bosses. So yeah, unless, barring a disaster on final bosses, which with 9 energy tanks, 3 suits, and 2 visors, I do not foresee. It is a fairly safe bet that this will be Interslice's race to lose at the moment. Still a lot to like from both runners, especially when it came to their movement tonight. Both demonstrated some pretty exceptional movement. It just came down to Interslice's both runners routing. Conveniently, both runners have Boost Ball, because as it turns out, Meta Ridley is vulnerable to Boost Ball, which does 50,000 damage per frame. Hurts a lot. Only to the flying phase, though. The ground phase is still must be dealt with the old-fashioned way, as the saying goes. And Interslice gets the boost ball hit, and Ridley is down to the last quarter health. Now it comes down to RNG and see how many charges Interslice gets here. Looking good so far. And then immediately gets charged. Twice in a row, no less. Ooh, almost third 3 times in a row, but Interslice gets the intercept. Now, folks, don't worry. If you want to see some more Prime Rando action, there is still a lot going on tonight. Right now, in fact, we've got 2 matches going on elsewhere on the SpeedGaming channels. We have Lokir versus Koshi on Channel 3, and Reed Whaley versus Elias Thompson on Channel 2. There will be no matches scheduled for tomorrow for restreaming, so the next time we come back to you after tonight will be Thursday, September 2nd, at 3 in the afternoon, question mark? Yeah, afternoon, with the Ginger Chris versus Frostbite. Meanwhile, Tubamann has taken down Flagra, picked up his 5th artifact, and now must run to Fendrana Shorelines to get number 6. Unfortunately for Tubamann, the fastest way to Shorelines is to go through Lava Lake all the way to Transport Tunnel A. So still a bit of a walk here. Interslice, meanwhile, now fighting Metroid Prime Exoskeleton. Pretty tough boss. Each beam phase has 200 HP, and Metroid Prime herself, pretty much a damage sponge. Alright, Interslice has entered Subchamber 2, in which case Exo will now shift to add Ice Beam to the repertoire. Possible here for Interslice to get a quick snipe before Exo changes beams again, which he gets successfully, and gets power next, which is great because then you can just lay a super missile in. And as just a little fun fact, for those who may not have known, Flamethrower, as it turns out, does work on the power form of Exo. Bit of a weird addition to the damage tables, but it'll do when you're trying to meme. It's even possible to get a snipe on Exo while Exo is charging across the arena. It's a bit of a thin window, though, so not particularly easy. Tubamann has picked up artifact number 6 and is rushing back to Artifact Temple at best possible speed. And Interslice getting pretty close to Subchamber 4 here with Exo, where anything's going to go down there. Exo may charge randomly, can switch beams on the fly. Generally not a pleasant fight, but Interslice has been making very quick work of Exo despite not having Ice Spreader. And you're seeing exactly why Subchamber 4 is Subchamber 4, because Exo went from power to ice. Not the worst combo to switch from, switch to, but the worst one would be Wave. Mainly because Charge Wave doesn't do a tremendously large amount of damage. At least with Charge Power, we can use Super Missiles in this fight. Tubamann has reached Artifact Temple and will now face off against final bosses. Alright, this should be the last beam phase for Exo, and that down goes... Uh-oh, that last Plasma Orb is still on the field, which means it could detonate right as Interslice gets control here. Doesn't look like that was the case, though. Yeah, if you end up getting hit by those Plasma Orbs especially, it deals, like, something along the lines of upper 80s damage. And you don't want that right before the Exo fight, especially if you don't have a tremendously large number of energy tanks. But now we're down to the Essence fight here. And what you're going to see Interslice do here is a series of small attacks in order to progress Essence's attack phases a little quickly. Attack cancels, as we call them. So a single shot as Essence prepares the next move. And just like that, the second pool is out. Oh. Bit of a freeze there from Interslice. It looks like it's a stream hiccup. We'll get that fixed in a second. Tubamann, meanwhile, is entering final bosses. Oh, and it looks like Interslice is caught up, no problem. Alright, Interslice is on the third pool, it looks like. Hasn't had too much issues so far. Is attack canceling to pool number 4 here. And when the Fission Metroids come out, then that's when you know the fight's just about over. One full salvo phase on later, and Interslice will finish this race in first place and win this match with an official race time GG time of 1:23.26. GG's to Interslice. We have received confirmation that Tubamann will finish the race and will join us soon after, we hope. But yes, Tubamann will finish before calling it a night here. Don't get me started, chat, on the stopping the timer before having to fight Parasite Queen in Sunday's Plando bit. And Interslice, GG to you, congratulations. Hold on 1 second. I gotta turn down my Discord a bit. Sorry. Anywho, yeah, GG's Interslice. What are your thoughts on the seed?
Well, I got baited pretty hard by that. I was pretty sure Phazon suit was going to be a frigate, but no, it's always a mines.
Well, actually, it's funny that the two of you took virtually identical paths after your early Chozo dives. You both went to Magmor, you both went to Phendrana. Tubamann decided to dip out of Phendrana a little earlier, or got through Phendrana a little faster to end up finding... this is after Wave and Plasma leading to Wave and Spider. For that, you were both virtually identical in your routing. But Tubamann actually found Phazon suit first, but had not yet retrieved the Training Chamber and Sun Chamber artifacts and the Shorelines artifact, which is the one he had to backtrack quite far for. You, on the other hand, before you found Phazon, found all of your artifacts.
Yeah, I didn't want to risk Phazon suit being in my cabinet.
Indeed, but yeah, it ended up being a confirmed Phazon suit hunt pretty early. We honestly thought it was Phazon Research Lab A the first split second, not gonna lie.
That nothing involved kind of... I thought that was... When you asked me why spoilers, it was an upper dynamo.
Oh jeez.
I was actually considering checking it right after I did for access, but I felt kind of underrated.
Well, after we saw Gravity and Aether, it was pretty much just guaranteed Phazon hunt and check anywhere except PMT. Have fun.
Yep.
But yeah, so what saved you time is that you chose to not dip the entirety of upper mines, like Phazon Elite and everywhere in that neck of the woods before getting Elite Control access. You chose to go straight down to mid mines instead.
Yeah, I usually find Phazon suits in lower mines, so I kind of went right there. I was actually a little bit surprised it was so early in mines.
Yeah, we were honestly thinking it was going to be like towards Central Dynamo as well, but wasn't too far away to be fair. Credits to both of you, because both of you had exceptional movement throughout this this sea. Because again, yeah, you were both pretty much neck and neck for almost the entirety of your Magmor dives, throughout the entirety of getting Plasma, followed by Wave and Spider. That's where the sort of the first split happened between the two of you, because you chose to go check Thardis, while Tubamann chose to go straight into Far Phendrana.
Yeah, that thermal I think
Tuba actually skipped Thermal. Saw that it was Thermal in Chapel of the Elders, but elected to skip it. Just, I guess, accounting for logic later, which it's fair. Pretty easy to do with Thermal Visor.
Yeah, I thought about doing that, but I feel for Essence like we would have made up.
Yeah.
That's not a very long time.
Yeah, especially with Power Bombs and Plasma Beam.
Yeah.
Your bosses all, in general, your bosses were all pretty good. You made exceptionally quick work with Thardis and Exo.
Thardis was a little messy, so they missed the last power bomb, but yeah, pretty quick.
Indeed.
Oh, about Space Jump, I kind of mistook that for a missile for a while.
Oh yeah, we were wondering about that.
So that's why I did not get... If I had realized that was Space Jump up there, I wouldn't have worked out of getting North Ball.
Ah, okay. We thought, honestly, we couldn't see it that well on our Infamir screen, so we thought you just chose to not look at it since you didn't have Space Jump yet at all.
Yeah. Luckily it didn't affect me too much.
So, we're just, we want to double check something with you since you're definitely the bigger expert on Prime than I am, for sure. I assume that given the circumstances that Furnace without Spider Ball isn't logic in these settings? since
Pretty hard to pick, actually.
I'm just trying to think of how you were expected to get to Elder Chamber without anything besides Ice Beam, and since Spider Ball was off the table too, since it was Plasma Lock.
Oh, are you talking about just getting up the small spider track and turn?
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a beginner standard.
It is beginner standable. Okay. Yeah, that's what we suspected, because otherwise, looks like Essence got away from Tubamann. Yeah, Tubamann doesn't have thermal, so has to kind of improvise for the second pool. But yeah, Tubamann should be joining us in a moment. He's just on Essence right now. Yeah, like I said, very close between the two of you.
That's good. Should be a good pick nowadays to help.
Indeed, I believe the two of you will now both be 1-1 following the results of this race. Shoutouts to French Vanilla Wave Buster.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Not what I wanted to see, but
Yeah, we brought up just before you picked it up that Tower of Light can't have progression because of the missile capacity logic issue right now.
yeah, I don't bother to check it anymore. Even with the old randomizer, almost never.
Just excessive missiles.
Yeah.
And maybe an occasional Vanilla Wave Buster. We would like to point out that right now we are on just starting the second round of what will be 6 rounds of Swiss over the course of the next month or so. So you have plenty of Prime Rando action to be seeing from the entrants in this tournament, folks.
Many months of Prime.
Indeed, and soon after, we hope to bring you the Metroid Prime Echoes Multi-World Cross Game Cup, as we call it. At least I think that's what we're calling it.
Yeah.
Ooh. But based on what I'm looking at, Essence is in a bad spot for a potential pool skip here. Oh, but has moved. In fact, has moved so far that ended up bonking Tubamann. But that is going to finish it for Tubamann, who will finish this race with an official race time GG time of 1:32.35. GG's to both of our runners once again for their outstanding performance here as we kick off the second rounds of Swiss. And Tubamann has confirmed he will be joining us shortly for an interview. But yeah, what are your thoughts and expectations going forward in the tournament? Like any particular Rando Vania updates or other quality of life updates you hope get added in the future? Any particular runners agreements you'd like to be challenged with?
Well, I know competitive cutscenes will be added in the next version. That's already been done. We're just waiting for the new release. So
Very nice.
Skip those nice ones. And I think today there was a little logic bug, I think, discovered with Flagra that causes a lot of the front-loaded Chozo seeds. So
yeah, we touched on that earlier in the race. but we didn't go into too much detail. Do you? Is there any additional insight you can perhaps enlighten the folks at home to about what the deal with that is?
I haven't looked into it too much yet,
That's fair.
but sounds
All
good.
right, Tubamann, GG to you. Welcome to the booth.
Yeah, GG.
Thank you, GG. That was an interesting seed.
It was an interesting seed, and I gotta tell you, the two of you both played brilliantly, and you were both very neck and neck, pretty much between your first dips into Magmore and picking up Plasma, then Wave, then Spider. The difference when things started splitting up again was Tubamann, you chose to go straight into Far Fendrana, while Interslice chose to also route in Thardis. But Interslice had picked up all the artifacts in Fendrana and on Flagra before leaving for Mines. And you had chosen to dip Upper Mines first, check Phazon Elite, check Storage Depot B, and found Phazon Suit in Mid Mines, but Interslice chose to go to Mid Mines first and found Phazon Suit after you, but by that point had already had all 6 artifacts.
Yep, I kind of figured something like that was probably what went down. I just kind of had the feeling that by that point the seed was so, linear, I guess. Like, it wanted you to do everything in that certain order. I was sure that both of us had probably taken close to the same routes. And my thought process was, I'm not beating Interslice on execution. No way, no how. So I decided to kind of take that YOLO play after labs, where I cleared the Far Fendrana kind of backwards so that I would be put right by the save station when I got to Frozen Pike. And then I decided I'm going to gamble that it's going to be not like Thardis area, not in the Magmore area. I did think it was probably going to be in Mines, so I decided maybe also check Frigate while I'm on the way there, since I had just gotten Gravity and the Thermal Visor was wave locked as well. So that would probably be the closest thing to latest progression.
Indeed. Also, shoutouts to the first door in Frigate for you, Interslice.
Oh yeah, those boxes are awful.
You literally got knocked around by the turrets and couldn't get through the door like 6 times before it kept shutting on you.
Oh right, yeah.
Which was hilarious, admittedly. Now, going back to your what you were saying earlier, Tubamann, both of you were actually demonstrating some pretty good execution throughout. I know you mentioned in the race time you had a bit of trouble with Essence, but besides that, there was a lot to like from both of you from an execution standpoint on your runs. You were nailing scan dashes, having very little trouble with stuff.
Yeah, I felt really good about the first 2/3 of my run. It was once I decided to take what I thought would be a little bit of a divergence from the norm that things kind of just slowly started unraveling. But I felt really good up until then. But I still didn't think that I was ahead by any means.
I was a little worried when Thardis and Frigate had nothing.
Yeah. I definitely started sweating whenever Frigate was dead. And then whenever I fell in Elite Research, still don't know what happened there, why I didn't lock into the boost thing. That really spooked me, especially when that ended up dead. I was glad when I found Phazon, but I was sitting there like, that wasn't enough for me to get a head start in any way. So I had kind of accepted the fate, but I was still going to play to the end.
Once again, we would like to extend our GGs to both of you. You are both now 1-1 going into the third rounds of Swiss. Tubamann, I'd asked Interslice, but do you have any thoughts about hopes for the tournament going forward? Any updates, interesting RAs, anything else that might tickle your fancy, as the saying goes?
Well, whenever I joined the tourney in 2019, I ended up going 2-4. I ended up having to skip out on the second one because of life things, so it's awesome to be back. I'm just kind of hoping for 3-3 or higher. I'm okay with not like getting any further than that, but if I could make it, I'm going to try for it. I would love to attempt at top 8, but there is some fierce competition, and I'm super excited to see how the rest of this season plays out.
Very nice. Well, we certainly are looking forward to the rest of the season playing out for the both of you. And I do believe, unless, is there anything else, gentlemen, that you would like to say before we close out this evening?
Nope.
Well-
No?
Well, then, I do believe we will be wrapping things up. So, thank you, folks, for watching. We are going to say, again, to follow our runners, Interslice and Tubamann, who have put on a fantastic show for you here on this Tuesday evening. We want to also shout out Young Death, who has been our amazing tracker tonight, making sure everybody knows who has what. And we'd like to remind you, if you do want to learn more about the Prime Randomizers, we have linked the Discord in Twitch chat and the challenge bracket and schedule for upcoming matches. We do hope you will join us for the rest of that. I have been Captain MD13, and with that said, folks, one last thing before we close out is that for the rest of our matches tonight, it looks like the Lokir versus Koshi match may have been delayed, and it looks like it's actually just about to be starting, which that will be on SpeedGaming, or is on SpeedGaming 3. Not quite sure what the cause of that is, but I'm sure the folks commentating that will be happy to explain. Otherwise, we also have SG2 currently hosting Reed Whaley versus Elias Thompson. So if you are interested in checking that race out, go ahead and head there. With that said, folks, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your night, and we will see you next mission.
See ya.
GG's.
GG.